Look, I know you're worried, Barbara, but if they won't let me in to see Paul, I doubt they're gonna let... I don't know why, but he is still sedated, and they keep saying how he needs more observation. Look, I've been up all night thinking about him, how he's all alone in that room. How can I not be stressed out? My husband's locked up, and I don't know when or even if he's gonna get out.
I expected to find you in bed, not surfing the web.
I'm trying to find out what's wrong with Paul.
What did the doctor say?
I'm not sure yet.
You know what? You need to walk away from this computer. You need to take it easy.
Sitting at a computer isn't exactly hard labor.
What you're doing is stressful, and that's what you need to avoid.
Okay, tell me how I should do that then, when my husband is in a psych ward and they won't let me see him. I just hope he knows that it's not my choice to stay away.
You know, I can't help but wonder that maybe a little time apart wouldn't be such a bad thing. I mean, you could look at your life, your marriage.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, ever since you said I do, your life has been total chaos. I know that you love Paul. I know that he loves you in his own way, but there comes a point in your life. You have a baby coming. You don't need to take on someone else's problems, especially problems as big as Paul's.
Is that why you came here? To talk me into leaving my husband?
I think if you were really honest with yourself, you would see that the best thing for you and the baby right now would be to get Paul out of your lives for good.
My husband is too ill to defend himself, and you're telling me to abandon him?
Fine, you can be angry with me if you want. I'm just worried about you, that's all.
You think Paul has done nothing but hurt me?
I don't just think it. I see it. You're pregnant. You're supposed to have that beautiful, serene glow, and you look like you've been through the war.
Well, that's not Paul's fault. That's James Stenbeck's. That's where all the problems started.
James is dead.
And Paul needs some time to recover from all the damage he's inflicted, and he will. Once he gets the love and support he needs, you and everybody else will find out exactly what I already know. That he is nothing like his father. He is a decent and loving man.
Okay, I can understand why you might want to believe that, but some problems, they don't respond to love and support. Some problems, they last a lifetime, and you don't need to take them on.
You know what? You sound just like Dusty.
He would know, wouldn't he? Look what Paul did to him. To Jennifer. That wasn't James Stenbeck. That was Paul. He did that all by himself. Why don't you just come out to the farm? You know what? Better yet, come stay with us. Willie would love it. So would the girls.
No. I love my husband. He and this baby are my family. They mean everything to me. And no matter what you or Dusty or anyone else says, I will not walk away from him. Paul?
I'm sorry. The maid didn't tell me you were resting.
I must have drifted off.
Oh, yeah, you thought I was Paul.
I must have been dreaming.
I'm sorry. I heard that he was at the hospital.
Yes. Do you think you could use your badge to get someone to tell me when he's getting out?
I already tried that, so, I know how difficult this must be, not having him around with the baby on the way.
Yeah, it is.
All right, well then, I'll make this as quick as I can. I just want to ask you a few questions about Faro Island, what led up to that.
I already gave my statement.
I know, but I wasn't around, so if you wouldn't mind answering a few more questions.
Not at all, but I honestly don't know that much.
Why don't we just, let's start with James Stenbeck, his kidnapping you.
He had threatened Paul's life if I didn't go with him.
Is this the first contact you'd had with him?
Yes, but apparently he was hiding in the wine cellar for weeks.
Really? Was Paul aware that James was in the house?
Yes, he was, but James threatened my life if he had told anyone, especially the police.
All right. So James took you to Faro Island, and where did he hide you?
He had a cottage on the beach. It was a pretty remote place, no one else around.
Okay. And then how did you get to the lighthouse? Who got you there?
I just got away on my own.
Really?
Yeah, what?
Well, it's just, you know, kind of surprising, a woman in your condition on a deserted beach.
You know what, Margo? If
covering
you
all
were
that
being
territory.
held by a psychopath, I'm sure you would discover resources that you didn't know you had.
Okay. So Paul then found you at the lighthouse.
Yes.
And then what?
And then James found us.
And according to the report, James was armed.
Yes, he was. And Paul tried to get the gun away from him. There was a struggle, and that's when James fell off the ledge.
That's all?
That's all I remember.
Are you sure?
Is there something else you want me to say?
Yes, Meg, there is. Someone was shot at the lighthouse, and I want to know who it was.
Someone was shot? Are you sure?
The gun retrieved from the site had been fired. There were casings on the floor.
Well, maybe when James and Paul were struggling, the gun went off and I didn't hear it.
It's a pretty distinctive sound. I can't imagine you could have missed it.
You know what, Margo? You weren't there. Everything felt pretty surreal.
Meg, you had to have known that someone was shot. According to the crime scene report, there was blood on the floor.
Well, maybe James was hit, and we didn't register it because soon after he fell off the ledge.
We ran tests. The blood that was found on the floor was not James Stenbeck's. And since neither you nor Paul had any visible wounds, I have to conclude that someone else was there.
Well, that's impossible.
Is it?
It was a small space, Margo. I think if somebody were shot, I would have noticed. You know, I was trying to sleep off a migraine that is now back. So if you don't mind, I'd like to try and sleep it off again. So if we're done, you know your way out.
Yes, I do, but I'm not going.
I've told you everything I remember.
I don't think you have, Meg. You're hiding something, and I want to know what it is.
Why would I be hiding something?
It wouldn't be the first time. Did you think I forgot about Sophie? Both you and Paul lied to me to protect each other, so tell me, who are you protecting now?
I told you everything I know.
I don't believe you. And if Paul's diagnosis supposedly keeps him...
Okay, how dare you? Paul's suffering is real to both of us.
But if he can exaggerate his condition, would keep him from talking to
Okay,
the
you know
police.
what? I'm done. It's time for you to leave.
All right, I'm going. But unfortunately, if I can't talk to Paul, then I'm gonna have to go after you.
For what?
For the whole story. Meg, I don't want to put a pregnant woman behind bars, but if I don't get answers, I don't have a choice. You've got one day to think about how that blood got on that floor. Tomorrow, I want an answer.
Hasn't that monster put us through enough hell? Now you want to punish us for his death?
I am not investigating the death of James Stenbeck. He's not my focus here.
Oh, really? Then what is it?
Somebody else was in that lighthouse with you and Paul. Whoever it is hurt or dead. Now, I don't know why you're pretending that you don't know what I'm talking about, but you keep it up and there will be consequences, Meg.
Yes, hi. My name is Meg Snyder. Dusty Donovan gave me this number, and he said if I ever needed anything, I could reach him here. A message? Yes. Can you, tell him that I'm in trouble and I don't know what to do?